self-love, and discovering the constant beauty of this ever-changing world.
On this week's episode, Allie and Regan share their highs and lows for the week, their thoughts about tattoos and piercings, and they play their travel game. Welcome to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. We are your navigators, Allison
and Regan, and welcome to another Wildcard Wednesday episode, listeners. Thank you for touring along with us this entire season. We were just saying how it's already almost the end of season 2 and we're finally getting into a rhythm with all of it. So thank you to all of you who have been along for the journey this season. It's been a wild and fun ride. But as always, before we get kicked off with our conversation here today, just a quick plug for our website, www.wanderlustingwives.com. And there you can find easy links to all of our episodes, both our Travel Tuesday episodes and Wildcard Wednesday episodes, depending on your preference, but we hope you're enjoying both series. And yeah, you can find more information about us. And if you're interested in being a guest on Travel Tuesday, we are officially looking for guests for season 3. We have rounded out season 2, which is super exciting. Thank you to so many of you for supporting and making that possible. But if you're interested in being a guest for season 3, we'd love to have you. And Allie can tell you more about how to get in touch with us.
Yeah, first, I'm just in shock that we're already done with guests for season 2. It has flown by, and it's been amazing. We've had some wonderful guests and more to come that you guys have not heard from yet. So we're super excited for our last couple of guests for the year. But without further ado, our social media is a great place to connect with us. So we are pretty much everywhere. Instagram, you can find us at Wanderlusting Wives. Facebook is Wanderlusting Wives Podcast. Twitter at Wanderlust Wives, and then we also have an email. You can give us feedback. You can ask to be a guest on the show. We'd love to hear from you. Our email is wanderlustingwives@gmail.com. And then, of course, we would love for you to give our podcast a review, help us out, boost our podcast so more people can see it when they search for travel or leisure, whatever they're looking for. So give us a 5-star review. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can also leave some words for us. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, one of the best parts about this podcast is this kind of fun community, people that we never would have had a chance to run into probably in the rest of our lives. This podcast has given us a platform for it. And we're just really grateful for all of you who have been along for the journey. Without further sappy ado, let's get into our first segment here, our escape segment, where we're going to spin a wheel, and we're really getting down to it for we don't have a ton of topics left on this wheel, but we're going to randomly, spontaneously have this wheel pick a topic for us and just have a nice conversation about it. So, okay. Tattoos and physical self-expression.
Ooh. Okay.
So this is a fun one, I think, because Allie, tell us about any tattoos or physical self-expression, jewelry, anything that speaks to you.
Yeah, so I am no tattoos and nothing against them. I just personally don't want a tattoo. For me, I think some of them are really cool, and I know Regan will talk about her tattoos when we get to that part, but I personally don't have tattoos. I think they're great. I guess never say never. I could get one someday, but just not at this point. Not at this point in my life. I really am into getting piercings. I have my first and second hole. I have my cartilage, and then my daith or doth, as the piercer likes to call it. I still don't know. Yeah, I still don't know what it's actually called. I think daith sounds better, so I'm going with that. But I like having different piercings because it's not as permanent as a tattoo. I think that's where my issue comes with tattoos. Well, and the pain. I don't want to have to deal with the pain of getting a tattoo. I think I'm a little too sensitive for that. So I like that piercings, if I take it out, there's probably going to be a small, hole that's there forever. But it's not something that's stuck on my body forever. I can take it out. I can put it in whenever I want. I can change it up. Whereas a tattoo feels more permanent, and I'm a little too, reserved for such a risky modification to my body. So sticking with the piercings for now, and I love that so many people are accepting of tattoos now. There's still those old people who are like, oh, tattoos, you're going to ruin your body. You're going to hate that when you're older or whatever. But I like that it's accepted more. And I know, like, at least I can speak for my profession. It's becoming more acceptable for teachers to have tattoos and visible tattoos at that. So I think that's really cool. And students can, see themselves being able to express themselves and however they would like to, because their teachers are now able to express themselves more.
Yeah. I'm going to call you out for a minute here, though, Allie. You say you can't take the pain of a tattoo, but okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, and I think we might have shared this story on our podcast earlier this year, but in case not, Allie and I both kind of realized that we wanted to get new piercings last November, December, somewhere in there. And I was going to be going down to Pittsburgh to visit Allie. So we were like, oh my gosh, let's just do it. Let's get piercings together. So we went to a piercing studio, and Allie decided that she was going to get her Daith or her Doth, and it just sounds like such a Star Wars word. Like,
True.
Doth. Luke, I'm going to pierce your Doth. I don't know. It's just weird. So Allie got this piercing, and I got my nostril pierced, and it was fine. I think I went first, like, whatever. It's like a little bit of a burn. Allie goes, and her expression of just sheer pain getting this pierced, I was like, girl, you have got some strength in you. Well, they didn't tell us until after piercing her Doth. It's considered the most painful piercing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I did research before because, I want to make sure it's like safe to get, like where's a good place to get it done. And I suffer from migraines, and I'd heard that it could potentially help with that because it's like a pressure point. Still don't know if that's 100% true, but whatever. I'm just rambling now. But I had read online that it was painful, but it was like, it's painful, but, people have different pain tolerances. So I'm like, okay, I got my cartilage pierced. That was a little bit painful. I have, my first and second holes, which is your earlobe. That's nothing. So I'm like, oh, the Daith or Doth, whatever, is not going to be that bad. It's just based on other people's experiences saying it was really painful. Yeah, the guy, I guess, made a good choice by not telling me till after it was done that it was the most painful. And he even shared with us that he has his privates pierced, and his Daith was more painful than his privates. So that just tells you how painful it actually is. And I'm glad that it's over with. I enjoy it, but I would not seek that out again.
Well, that's kind of the nice thing about tattoos or piercings. Like, I think a lot of people do shy away from it because of the pain. And the pain is not to be underestimated. Like, yes, it's painful. Like, I have a couple of tattoos, and they're really important to me, and I love tattoos. I can't wait to get another one. But it's like, those things that you're getting, that's a choice to alter your appearance in a way that you feel beautiful in, or like that you feel is your innermost self saying, this is how I choose to express what is inside. Like, and having your Doth pierced, like, Allie, there's some deep corner of your inside that's just like, I am a fierce woman. To me, that's what I like to think of it as, because that
Me
is
too.
like, yes. But I just love that, like, we have that choice, and that it is becoming so accepted. Like, even Disney World suddenly was allowing their cast members to have visible tattoos, and it's just like, yeah, that's part of self-expression. And I have 2 tattoos. I have one on my upper arm that says "Fearfully and Wonderfully Made," which is, of course, a Bible verse, and I have like a bumblebee going through it because my nickname is Bees. And then on my shoulder blade, I have a tattoo of my wedding bouquet. So I'm really into like meaningful tattoos. And I have a couple of ideas spinning around in my head for different points in my life that I'm like really excited about. But I just love I love that tattoos, and piercings too, honestly, because I feel like jewelry curation is such a big part of self-expression too, of like, if whether it's for a religious celebration, or if it's just for you to feel beautiful or something. I love that it can kind of spark a conversation, or it has a story behind it, something like that. I love that physical self-expression, and clothing too, honestly. Like, whatever you choose to wear, that's physical self-expression too, and it's just I love that it shows everybody's uniqueness, and in a way that, oh my gosh, I have a tattoo with the same Bible verse or something. Whatever it is that you're like, oh, you start up a conversation or you ask a story of a tattoo or something like that. I just think physical self-expression is really, really a cool little topic to be talking about.
Yeah, I love this. And I actually saw, this is kind of funny that this was the topic today. I saw a video that kind of made me emotional today. A dad had gotten a tattoo on his arm of his son's drawing. And this, like, the shock, the kid got to, like, unwrap the tattoo. And just, like, the shock and pure happiness on his face was just the cutest thing. And I'm
Aw.
not saying everyone go get a tattoo of your kid's favorite drawing, but if you're into tattoos or something and that's meaningful to you, I thought that was really special that that kid saw, like, hey, my dad loves my drawing so much that he got it on him permanently. And it was just like the teacher in me was getting all emotional, and then just like the
No.
human being in me as well is like, that is just the sweetest thing ever. And I love that the parent took the initiative to say, like, I love my child and I want to show them how much I love them. And this is the way that I know how to do that, by having something permanently tattooed on me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it was really sweet.
I was actually talking to a friend this week too about how a tattoo or something can be really simple. It can be literally simple lettering, but if you look at that and you are reminded of something powerful. So, for example, my friend's tattoo says "You Will Be Found," which is a song from the musical Dear Evan Hansen, and it's all about, like, you are not alone, essentially. Like, if you're ever considering, like, taking your life, or if you just feel so alone and you're depressed or anything like that, that, like, someone is going to be there to pick you up and get you out of the situation that you're in, or just come alongside you and be with you through it. And it's like, if you get that on your arm and that's a reminder to you to get you through a day, like, I'm all for it. I love that. And it really is a beautiful art form too. And during the pandemic, Ink Master was quite the binge for me and Nolan. And it's a beautiful art form. I think it had a stigma around it for a long time. Man, these people are talented. Oh my gosh. Ugh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I can barely draw a stick figure on a piece of paper, so I can't imagine doing all these really beautiful designs on a human, which is not necessarily a flat surface you're always working with. So
Yeah. Yeah, we're
it's
watching Ink
amazing.
Master with these beautiful artists. Meanwhile, I'm playing Jackbox games. Yeah, exactly what you were saying. I can barely draw a stick figure, and
Yeah.
people are laughing at my drawing. Like, what is this supposed to be? Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So love it. Anything else to add to this conversation, Allie, before we flip to our next segment?
I think that covers it. I feel like we could talk like all night about this, but I think we can move on. Maybe we can touch upon it again in another episode further down the line, but
Okay,
yeah,
sounds
we can
good.
move on.
All right, so then we're moving right along to our Inspire segment, where we will just be brutally honest with about our lives. So, Allie, want to get us started with your high and low for the week?
And now a quick word from our sponsor. Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. The entire web becomes listenable for the first time, all in one place. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling and start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, tech, business, science, Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. It will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud. And the best part, they have podcasts. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. You can even find us there. I started using it as my default podcast app. They even have a digital radio. Download and use Newsly for free now at www.newsly.me or from the link in the description, and use promo code WIVES. That's WIVES. And you can get a 1-month free premium subscription. You can find all this information in our description from this episode. And now back to our episode.
Yeah, my high and low are kind of the same thing, but maybe that's cheating. I don't know. You'll find out why in a second. Um, so my low we'll start with, I think about a week and a half ago now. Our hot water tank decided it was done working, and when it decided it was done working, it was also going to leave a mess behind. So, um,
Ugh.
yeah, we have a finished basement, so meaning we have carpet on the ground, and our hot water tank is in the basement. Not in the finished basement area. There's like a wall that divides it. But thankfully, Nate was home. He heard like this kind of like bang sound and then like a gush. So that's always concerning. Um, so he went to check it out, and there was already like an inch of water on the ground. It was just going crazy. I was out of town, and Nate was supposed to be with me, but thankfully he wasn't. Something else came up, so he wasn't able to come. Um, so it could have been way worse. Thankfully, he was there to turn off the water. And there was probably like 2 inches of water when it was all said and done. Our hot water tank was from like 2006, so it it did a lot of work. So I guess it was time, but it was kind of rude that I decided to let some water out too. It couldn't just stop. That would have been nice, but the good part of this all is that we just found out that the insurance is going to cover the cost of the hot water tank, which they said is like a 1 in 10 case. It like rarely happens that they cover the full thing. So they're covering that. And then also the water cleanup crew had to come with their big fans and stuff, and they had to cut up sections of our carpet and cut off some of the wall. So that was not so fun, but the insurance is covering all that too. So everything will be taken care of, thankfully, or else this would be thousands upon thousands of dollars, which I mean, we try to plan for and save up for, but you just don't know how much things like that are going to cost, especially since this is our first home and we've never experienced this in our own lives. So that was not a fun surprise, but it does have a happy ending with the insurance covering it. So thank goodness for homeowners insurance. I could hug the woman that came here because I was so happy when she said it was all going to be covered. I'm like, you are my savior. So
That is awesome. I'm so glad it worked out like that because, that sounded like a
yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah, and of course it happened over the weekend, so they're charging more for the hot water tank and to come. So I was very glad when they said, "Yeah, we'll cover that." Like, thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What a
Yeah,
relief.
it is such a big relief. I don't know. I would be way more stressed if we had to shell out tens of thousands of dollars because like the carpet, it's just a section that's cut out, but they have to take out the whole entire carpet and downstairs, then hang drywall and have to repaint stuff, which is not that big of a deal. It's just one wall that has to be fixed. But the fact that we just got carpet in like literally like a year ago, we put brand new carpet in and now it's needing to be replaced is not so fun. But it's all right. It's
Yeah.
covered. That's the best thing. The worst thing is that we just have to call people and get them to actually come out and do stuff. But it's all good now.
I'm so glad. That's home ownership, man.
Yeah, it's
What
fun.
an adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, I didn't have any water tanks explode or anything. But my low is, I don't know, it's kind of emotional, I guess. Like so we moved to Tampa and I'm kind of entering this phase of like the task-oriented person in me is kind of wearing out. Like that excited like checklist person around the move is kind of getting tired. And I'm kind of now sinking into a place of like, okay, what do the routines look like each week? And how do we explore a new city and balance with like the routines and the things we have to get done? And I'm feeling an unnecessary amount of anxiety around it of like being so excited to explore the city, but then also the tension of also needing to like, clean the bathrooms and stuff like that of just like the tension of now building actual routines in a new place. So feeling a little bit of tension and anxiety around that, but I think it's natural, and also, like, it would be, unfair to expect myself to not even 2 months in to be completely settled and, like, comfortable in my routines here and stuff like that, and, like, don't get me wrong, we are so comfortable here, like, I moved my desk out to the patio, and I've just been working out there the past few days, it's just been, like, amazing, it's a work from home person's paradise, um but yeah, just now getting into those routines and things, it's been a little tricky, but working on it and getting there, and it'll all be good and fun and fine. So not too worried about it, but a little bit of a low. But my high this past weekend, Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour film released into theaters, and I went to see it, and Nolan got to come with me, and I was really bummed that Nolan didn't get to go to, like, the actual concert with me, so I was so excited when it was coming to theaters, and he loved it, and he's, like, been like singing Taylor Swift songs since then, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, it brought me such a new appreciation for her and stuff," and, like, that was music to my ears to, like, hear him say that he's a Swiftie now, so that was, like, a ton of fun. I just, like I'm not, like, overly obsessed with Taylor Swift. I just, like, admire her as a woman and a musician and an artist, and just, like, I grew up with that music, so it was, like, emotional for me too. It was yeah, but super, super fun, and then this coming weekend, my parents are coming to visit, so I'm really excited. There's just lots of good stuff happening on weekends especially, so loving life. That's my
Yeah,
high.
that's awesome. It sounds like you need a plan to go to wherever her worldwide tour is gonna be for your 5-year anniversary.
Mm,
Since you didn't get to go to the concert when you went in March, maybe you need to go again.
I like how you think, Allie, and I would be lying if I said that I didn't also think that, like, we're still playing around with what next summer's vacation is going to look like, but we at one point, we were thinking about, like, a Mediterranean cruise or, like, going to Italy, something like that, and literally, she would be in Milan in July. I was like, "Let's plan our trip around this," but tickets to that would probably eat up our entire vacation budget, so probably not.
Hey, one can dream, right? It's fun to dream.
Yes, so fun to dream. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. And before we move on, I think we should just briefly talk about how hard moving is,
Oof.
especially out of state. Because if you're new here, Regan and I both grew up in New York. I currently live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Regan's in Tampa, Florida. So it's an adjustment to move to a completely different state and not know people and try to create a new community, and then you have the excitement and the buildup of the move, and then it's finally there, you're moved in, and then like you said, the getting into the routine, like what does the life look like now? Like I can't just go swimming into the beach every day, like maybe, but is it actually realistic to do that every day when you have to clean the toilet or
Yeah.
do regular household chores? It's hard to get into those routines and create a new life when moving, especially away from
Yeah.
family. That's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's key is, like, the leaving the community behind.
Hmm.
Um, and, like, I love my family, and no part of the move was, motivated by needing to be away from family. But it doesn't matter what the motivation for a move is, it's like, you're gonna miss that piece of it, and making friends as an adult is so hard.
Yes, especially when you work from home.
Yes, and there's, like, not that built-in time. Yeah, you're totally
Hmm.
right. It's so I think I've also kind of been feeling attention from that, um, but also, like, it's not even been 2 months, like, it's just a matter of being gentle and just graceful and keep moving forward and maintaining communication, things like that, but yeah, it is. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's all worth it, and you're still enjoying yourself, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
Awesome.
speaking of travel, should we move into our final segment here?
Yes! Okay, I was realizing that there's a lot of pressure because 2 weeks in a row now, I've gotten the flight and the activity, so I'm feeling I need to go 3 for 3, and I'm kinda nervous about it, so would you mind if I went first?
All right, you can go for it.
Okay, so Allie, you are going to tonight, you're going to Bora Bora. Lucky you.
Wow, That is very lucky. I think, didn't like a few episodes ago, I went to like the Maldives or something? Well, I was supposed to, but I couldn't guess it because I suck at guessing.
Maybe you'll get this one, and you weren't meant to get the Maldives because you're supposed to get this one.
You know what? I think that's right on point. So
You got this.
Going to Bora Bora. Okay, tonight I'm gonna guess $1,450.
Higher.
Oh geez. Can I even afford to go? I guess we'll find out.
Well, if your first guess was $1,450, if you want to splurge a little bit, yes, you can afford it.
Okay. How about $3,200?
Oh, such a leap. Lower.
Okay, that's good. I want to see how high we're actually going here. Okay, this is my last guess though. How about $2,400?
Ah, man. I was really hoping you'd get it. $1,759, $1,759, which is so much less than I would have expected.
Yeah, seriously. Especially for a day of, that's better than I thought, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm bummed you didn't get it, but there is hope for the activity.
Okay.
The activity I think would be really fun. It's a ATV/jet ski adventure. It's for a full day, and this price is for 2 people, which I know is weird because I only gave you the flight price for 1 person. So you're going to end up with a stranger, but the price for 2 people is what you're guessing for this ATV and jet ski full day adventure.
Okay. ATV and jet ski. That sounds expensive. And then for 2 people, I'm going to say $250.
Higher.
Ooh. Dang. I'm not going on this adventure because that's expensive. $320.
Higher.
No. I need to do more research. I really stink at this game. $400.
No, $574.
Oh my gosh. You can tell I'm a budget traveler because I do not spend this kind of money on excursions or anything.
Heck no. Like, even just getting to Bora Bora, like, it's very clearly like a ritzy, like, high-end place to go.
Yeah, once in a lifetime for us peasants, right? Well, hopefully you're going to get this one tonight. What, isn't it like a turkey or something in bowling if you get 3 strikes? So.
Oh, yeah. Turkey. Yeah, something like that. I'm so nervous right now.
So maybe you'll become a turkey. I don't know. We'll see.
Not before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, 'tis the season. Okay, so you're going to Zurich, Switzerland, leaving tonight.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's see. Ooh, that sounds like such a fun trip. Do I get chocolate?
That is funny.
Okay. I'm gonna say $1,200.
Ooh, lower.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, wait,
you could actually, like, I am considering calling off and going.
Okay, let's see here. $500.
Lower.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No way. I don't believe you.
I know. I didn't believe it when I saw it either, so.
I'm going to just quickly, I need to take a break, everybody.
Yeah, go check your phone for the break.
Lower than $500 to go to Switzerland. Let me see. Let's call it $350.
Ooh. What's the price? $100?
Yeah.
Okay. $292. So pretty close.
No way.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's 13 hours, which I thought is still pretty reasonable. Like, Switzerland's not that close. So $292.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. I might just call in sick tomorrow.
I know, right? Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
You're not going to get to go on the flight, and it's funny that you mentioned chocolate because the thing that I chose was a Linden Chocolate Museum tour. So, what do you think a ticket price might be for one person?
$20.
$16.66.
Yeah, it's probably not worth much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. It didn't look that cool, but I figure like Switzerland, you kind of have to do it. So
Yeah. I mean, the things I would do for chocolate,
and
there are a lot
if
of
the
things.
flight is that cheap, I mean, it might be worth it.
Yeah. Dang, I just
Yeah.
can't get over that flight.
I know. I was like, how many more personal days do I have? Can I afford to take time off right now? Probably not, but that would be really nice.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Ugh. Well, go us. Going on a chocolate adventure.
You did not become a turkey. That's good. Maybe
no turkey.
Next time.
Well, that's good. I would rather avoid becoming a turkey before Thanksgiving, to be honest. So we're all good.
Yeah. And now the pressure's off too.
Thank goodness.
So
I was so nervous.
try
Literally
again next
sweating,
time.
and that might be because I just worked out, but who cares? And I'm stuffed in a closet today, everybody, just trying to get my audio just right. So there are multiple reasons I could be sweating, but I'm thinking that the leading factor is this looming turkey business, which we have avoided. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for today's conversation, and we will catch you next time.
Tuning in to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. Come escape with us again every other Tuesday for Travel Tuesdays and every other Wednesday for Wildcard Wednesdays.
Don't forget to give us a subscribe and a follow on all of our social media and wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until next time, wander on.